I think it was a positive step for the group. The intensity, the desire, against a tough opponent, a compact opponent. Happy with that. Not happy, I think, with the execution. And I think it comes down to a little bit of tightness, a little bit of lack of confidence, and anxiety. And I told the guys, I feel for them. It's a difficult situation to be in. Everyone's fighting for roster spots. And, instead of coming out and really performing like the team we know we are, we lacked a little confidence, and that I think that hurt performance. There were certainly spaces to take advantage of today, and we didn't do that enough.
Jeff?
You talked about execution. I was wondering if you could drill down on that a little bit. I mean, what would you have liked to have seen out of the attack to kind of get some more?
I think it was a timing issue. We had a number of good runs behind the back line. Maybe the pass was off a little bit, the timing was off a little bit. That didn't lead to direct goal scoring opportunities. Maybe the touch was off, and then we couldn't cross it when we were in good positions. Maybe the cross wasn't as accurate as it could have been. So, we were just off on a number of plays, and I think that has to do with the confidence of the group. But what I told them was, these next weeks, use it to prepare. Go back to your clubs, play in your games, get strong, get fit, and come to Qatar with an open mindset and the idea that we want to compete there.
Sam?
Can you give us any more information on Gio's injuries and mindset?
No.
Considering the lack of execution that you mentioned tonight and on Friday against Japan, how concerned are you heading into the World Cup?
Again, I think confidence is a tricky thing, and I think when the guys are playing confident, we're a very dangerous team, a very dynamic team, and you saw some of the thinking almost on the field today, and we want to take that out of them. We want them to just play with that aggression and that intensity and the speed that we know they can. Regarding Gio, it was a case of it felt some tightness, and came out for precautionary reasons.
Was it hamstring?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll do.
Greg, did you read anything into kind of how Christian came off the field when he said that? Do you think that was just a manifestation of some of the frustration at how things haven't been clicking in this last window?
No, I think he came off the field as quick as he could to let someone else get on as quick as he could so we can score. I think that's a good sign, from the captain today that he understands the urgency. I talked to the guys about, showing urgency to play the ball forward, to get the ball back in play, to keep the ball moving. And at times we didn't always do that. So something like that is a really good sign for me.
Megan?
Greg, can you talk a little bit about the performances of your fullbacks? Did you think that Dust looked good on the left? Did you think Scally looked good in his, 30-minute run out? And how did DeAndre do?
I thought they all had moments. There was plenty of space in wide areas, especially on the right-hand side. Plenty of time to get behind the back line. We talked about before the game, it was going to be diagonals behind the back line was going to be a key. And I think there were moments. I still think we can improve.
Grant?
Greg, what went into your decision to start Turner in this game in the goal, and has he earned some credit in these two games toward potentially being the keeper for Qatar?
It was a difficult decision, and first and foremost, I feel for Sean and Ethan for not getting any game time in this camp, and it's never an easy decision. We had to really think about what's going to happen in these next 6 weeks. We knew that Ethan would be playing for his club. We know Sean's going to be playing for his club. We couldn't guarantee that Matt was going to be playing for his club, so we wanted to give him these games that are really important.
Sam?
What did you think of the performance of the center backs tonight? And can you talk about it? It looked like, you guys were playing a lot more direct today in terms of the number of long balls you were hitting over the top. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, they had a compact base, right, and we wanted to get behind them. They held their line, they weren't sagging, and there was plenty of space to get behind them. So we wanted to take advantage of that. And I think if we're going to evaluate everybody, what I'd say in general, there's not many players that performed up to their normal levels in this camp, and that's just how it is. And it's our job to get them confident that they can perform up to their normal levels. So. If you can ask me about the center backs, the full backs, the forwards, the mid, anyone you want to ask, I'd say we were below our normal levels.
Paul.
I mean, to follow up on that, you
Yeah.
came in probably hoping to leave the window with maybe a little bit more clarity on decisions that you're gonna have to make in 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Do you feel like you were able to do that at all, or not really now? It maybe changed the dynamic of the value of the club games, the overall big picture, because this window felt so off?
Yeah, no, I think we got some clarity. You know, we talked about it today with the group and with the coaching group, and you know, I think things became pretty clear.
What became clear to you?
Things.
Do you think you'll,
Go ahead.
do you think you'll schedule another friendly?
Do you guys sit next to each other on purpose?
Do you think you'll schedule another friendly in the November period? We've seen other teams.
You know, we play the second day of the tournament, which was normally the first day of the tournament. So there's not a lot of time. You know, the teams that are playing in the back end of that first group game, you know, have a ton of time, have the luxury to play a friendly game. We have to see. I think it's going to be pretty tight.
Jeff.
Greg, what did you think you got out of your midfield tonight? Thinking about guys like Weston and Tyler, just in terms of bouncing back from Friday.
They competed. You know, I think they competed. I think Weston had a better game. He's still not at how we know Weston to be. Tyler, I think, was perhaps one of the better players today in terms of, you know, activity, ball circulation, looking to play balls behind the back line. And he also improved from, by and large, everybody improved from the game against Japan. And it was just a question of how much.
Last one.
What went into the decision to bring in Jesus and not play Josh?
That's a good question. You know, we felt that Jesus can give us what we needed in this game to score a goal and win the game. And, you know, Josh is another guy that, you know, only got 45 minutes of game time and not a huge period to evaluate him on. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, we're trying to win the game, and we wanted to put Jesus in.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Greg was saying it feels like things were a little tense, a little bit off. What's the feeling in the locker room after this window and the way things went?
Yeah, obviously I think disappointed in the results that we had. Obviously today we were looking to respond, you know, with a good game from playing against Japan, and I thought we did. I thought we had an okay game. Obviously, you know, we created some chances, but overall, I think looking, you know, collectively as a group, we know we have to get better. You know, when we get to Qatar.
Do you believe in like momentum at all? Are you worried about kind of the way this window went ahead of the tournament?
No, not worried at all. Not worried at all. I know these guys. I know our talent. I know how connected we are, and it's just a matter of, you know, putting it all together. And there's no better time than coming up.
You guys talked a lot about what you just said, how connected you are, how close you are. Having said that, 2 tough games this window. What was the vibe like in the locker room, or what is it like? Are heads down? Are guys talking? Is it quiet? Is it loud?
No, absolutely not. I think, again, look, I think for us collectively, you know, we know we could do better. Like I said, we're disappointed with the results, disappointed with how we played. Like I said, we know we need to get better. We need to improve offensively and defensively. But collectively, look, like you know, it's cliche, but we're brothers, we're brotherhood in there, and you know, we have to go back and do everything we can in our favor to just stay healthy and get better and be ready for Qatar.
Is there a lot of tension in the camp? Just Greg talked about from the game. Yeah, I was saying earlier
I think naturally, sure. You know, it's the last camp. Everyone is fighting for a spot, whether they're fighting for a spot on the roster or they're fighting for a spot in the starting 11. So of course, naturally, there's going to be tension, but it doesn't take away from, you know, the internal competition, which is always great for us.
Speaking of the performance tonight, what you kind of think of this window as a whole?
I think the performance tonight was definitely a lot better than the one against Japan. You know, we're taking it as building blocks and stepping stones, and obviously better to have these type of performances right now than to have it in the World Cup. Obviously, we know that we can do better, and we know that we're going to have to do better if we want to succeed in the World Cup. So, you know, I think this window as a whole is a big learning lesson, and the last little jitters out. And hopefully whenever we get to the World Cup, it'll be like how it used to be.
You had a lot of, it seemed like almost plays in the attack.
Yeah.
What do you think was missing, and you know, why weren't you really able to kind of build on that in the second half?
No, I think you know, in the first half we you know, got him behind a lot. Like you said, we had a lot of, what I said it to Christian as well, it looked like we had a lot of half chances. We just didn't miss in the final pass or just numbers forward. But I think, you know, that's something that we struggled in the past with, and then we had spurts of moments where we don't struggle with it. So obviously we know that we can deliver, we know that we can score goals, and we know that we can attack well and we can finish plays. We just have to get that confidence, and we have to, you know, build off of it.
How do you go about getting it back in time 6 weeks from now?
I think obviously everyone's going back to their clubs, and everyone's going to be, you know, playing games in and out, and you know, a lot of the players are, you know, expected, you know, big things are out of their clubs. You know, they're important players for the club, so I think, you know, just going back, getting confidence, building it, and coming in hot, and I think the best thing for everyone is just to go home and you know, be available, be fit, and as fit as you can for the World Cup to come in and be prepared.
How would you describe the mood of the team now versus where it was when you guys came into camp in Germany last week?
No, I'm obviously the mood with the guys. We know these are just stepping stones, and we know this happens. And like I said, it's better that it happened now than happening in the World Cup. And I think the mood of the guys are, obviously we're a little disappointed, but at the same time we can't dwell in the past, because we have to go back to our club teams and we have to perform. And we know that, you know, coming back in, next time we're going to be in with the national team is to play on the big stage. So
Cool. Thanks, Weston.
Yeah.
You're out there after missing the first game, but overall, what's your feeling coming out of this window ahead of the World Cup?
Yeah, it was great to be back out there with the guys for sure. Really happy to be playing. Yeah, I think obviously not the results that we were really hoping for going into the World Cup, but we're not going to let that, you know, feel too disappointed going into those games, because now we have a fresh start and we're going to go into that World Cup flying, and we just have to do everything we can to make sure we're prepared and ready to go when that time comes.
Were you a little frustrated coming off of the field tonight? I mean, from afar, it looked like you might have been, but I mean, how are you feeling as you came?
No, I always want to be in the game, but yeah, I was just trying to get off the field, trying to score goals and trying to win the game. But it's good to get some minutes in, and I feel healthy.
When you're talking with the guys about the World Cup starting 6 weeks from now, what are you saying to each other about being ready and getting ready?
I think right now it's a bit odd, because everyone goes back to their club, and it's you know, everyone for themselves in a sense. But that's, you know, the message that we have to send. Do everything that you can, prepare your body, and you know, physically, mentally, as best you can to be prepared once that time comes. And if everyone does that, I think we're going to be in good shape for the World Cup.
You guys were getting in some of guys' positions in the first half, particularly when sort of seemed to get a little more difficult. What do you think happened there? What was successful in the first half? What changed?
Yeah, I felt that as well. I thought I think we made a couple of adjustments in the second half that maybe weren't particularly needed. I think we kind of weren't testing them as much in behind. I thought we had some good runs and good plays in the first half, and there was some good flow, especially down the left side. I didn't feel that as much in the second half for whatever reason, but I think that's credit to them as well. They defended well. They made a few adjustments and came out with a lot of energy, and they found rhythm in that second half and made it difficult for us.
How did you feel with you and Serginho?
Tyler Adams?
Good. I think Serginho is obviously a great player, so I'm really happy with how it went today. I think we can even try to get him, you know, used in the attack even more so, but I enjoy playing with him.
Considering how you guys are trying to kind of get things together in the final third, whether whoever's playing the number 9, whether it's you and Gio on the wings, how do you feel the chemistry is forming in just the attacking line and trying to figure out how to unlock things and score more?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to score goals, and I think there's times that we can put more crosses in the box. We can just be more aggressive, more relentless going forward, and just test them even more so. I think today, like you said, we had glimpses of it, but just didn't see enough in the end.
You feel okay, everything physically obviously played today, but with the knock and everything?
Yeah, healthy, feel good. So.
Any concern, or how's Gio doing? Considering everything he's gone through, to see him come off early today was difficult.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. I got that message that I don't think it is, but you know, we'll figure out more as soon as we need him.
Any concerns heading back to your club just about the minutes? I mean, obviously it's a brand new manager too, so I mean, what are your thoughts from there?
I'm feeling good going back, honestly. I have a fresh start now, and I'm excited to play for the new manager. So it's really just looking forward to it, and now I can, just have to prove myself as everyone does, and as I've done before.
Last one.
As you said, you're going back to your club. It's kind of got to refocus, but you're really close to your first World Cup. How much do you let that creep into your head, or how does that feel for you?
I mean, it's always there in the back of the mind for sure, but I don't even know how many games leading up. We have games every couple of days, so I have to be prepared as best I can, take it game by game, prepare, take care of myself, and everything will fall into place once the World Cup comes around.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.